Shalom Wachas. So today we're going to talk about of Yom Kippur, and there's a few things that are going to be forbidden. We have to know what's forbidden from the Torah, what's from the sages, and also we have to understand what is the most important of Yom Kippur. So Yom Kippurim asur ba'achila u'b'shiyah u'b'chitza b'sicha b'nilat hasandal u'tashmish hamita. So there's 5 things that are forbidden in Yom Kippur. The first thing that's forbidden is to eat and drink. Bechitza, it's forbidden to take a shower, to take a bath. Besicha, it's forbidden to anoint yourself. So let's say you're going to take a cream, or you're going to take any types of perfume, or put it on yourself to like oils. B'ne'ilat sandal, to wear leather shoes. Ubitashvish hamita, and to have relations. That's why the on Yom Kippur the common custom is for husband and wife to sleep in separate beds, so that they will follow the laws of Nida also, so that they will not come to have any intimacy. And also forbidden to do any melachot on Yom Kippur. Any forbidden things that are forbidden on Shabbat is also going to be forbidden to do on Yom Kippur. And also this year it also falls on Shabbat, but there's no difference between there's barely any differences between Yom Kippur and Shabbat in terms of
just extra prayers, right? It's just like a bit.
No, I'm talking about there is different things, but I'm talking about in terms of the melachot, like what's forbidden and what's allowed to do. And since there's an obligation to add more kedusha, right? So you add a little bit more to the days of Yom Tov. So just a little bit ben hashmashot, so just a little bit before the 13 and a half before Shkia, a few minutes before Shkia, right away you start fasting. So you should not wait till let's say now it's going to start. But anyways, now everywhere when we light, it's always 18 minutes before Shkia. So we're already doing it. So this we don't have to worry about. And also after Yom Kippur, you should have a little more time after. You should not go and eat or do things right away, because there's also it's interesting because from the Torah it speaks about the 9th day, and it speaks also about the 10th day. So it says that when you increase a little bit on the 9th day, because before it gets Shkia, it counts as if everything that you ate, it counts as if you fasted. So it's like you did 2 days of fasting. That's why we say, because it says in reality it should be a longer period of fasting, because look, we're being forgiven for all our sins. We have to know that the day of Yom Kippur itself is mechaper. So a person, if he is going to say vidui, what is vidui? We said yesterday, is for both a man and a woman. It's confession. Now, if you don't understand anything, you don't do it in Hebrew. You have to do it in the language that you understand. Because it says in many places in the Gemara, it says, what does Hashem want from you? He wants your heart. So if there's no heart in it, it's almost nothing. Almost. I won't say it's nothing, but it's almost nothing. So therefore, what a person should do, let's say a woman, let's say she's going to be at home, she's not going to go to synagogue. We also have to understand that the most important, like we said, are those 5 things. So a person has to make sure not to eat, not to drink. Now, if he knows he's going to go out with his friends, of course he shouldn't do that, because this is the last time where he's getting sealed. You know how his life will be, what money he will have, what success he will have. God forbid, if any problems will come to him. So this is really the most important time to ask for forgiveness to Hashem, to do the vidui, not to eat or to drink, and to not to do any melachot. Those are the most important ones. All the 5 are important, but these ones are the ones that usually a lot of people, it's more difficult for people. So the best would be just to stay home. If it's going to be hard for you, stay home all day, and you sleep, and you stay down low, you close the lights before the Chag. I don't know what you do, but it's better not to go once in synagogue, or not to hear the shofar or anything, and to do Yom Kippur properly, than to go there and be Mechayel Shabbat. Unfortunately, you see so many people, they drive in Yom Kippur. So they think they did a mitzvah, but they did a horrible crime, and not only the crime, it's a horrible punishment for this crime of driving on Shabbat or Yom Kippur. And they did it, and now they think they do a mitzvah, but it's the opposite. So we have to understand what is the most important, and what's because there's no mitzvah. It's good, it's a nice thing to go to synagogue, but there's no mitzvah in itself to go to go pray. If not, the synagogue is an hour away from you, You never go to synagogue and you keep Shabbat. It's much better than if you drive every Shabbat.
Yeah.
Very good. So let's continue. לגבי האוכלים משקים שצריכים לתת כלי קטנים, יש מתאים ויש מחמירים, ואם ישר יש להיזהר. Okay, now if let's say you have kids around, you have to give them, you have kids around that you have to give them food. You know, let's say you have your nieces, nephews on Yom Kippur. So some they say it's not good to play with food. It's better to prepare everything before. Maybe you make bags for the kids, they know what to take, and not really handle the food. You know, maybe you're gonna forget. You know, it happens. Or and some allow, and some are more mahmir. So here it says that the person should not touch any foods unless it's to feed children. And if not, it's better than it's better if the child it's better if he does it himself. Okay. Now Gimel. איסור רחיצה, עין סימן קכ"ד סעיף זין, ח' וגם ביום הכיפורים אין אסורה ברחיצה של תענוג. And also the רחיצה, so washing, this also includes not only washing your whole body, but it includes washing your hands and things like that. So it's not allowed to wash your hands. But this is של תענוג. What does it mean תענוג? It means when you are enjoying yourself. So if now you have a very dirty stain on your hand, or you have to touch something that was very dirty, so now you're not washing your hands to remove to enjoy it, but you're doing it to remove the dirt. This is someone fell on the floor, there was a lot of mud, so this it will not be a problem. And also you have to be very careful not to wash his hands more than the amount that's necessary. And this is why it says in the morning when you're doing Tzkat Yadayim, you have to wash your hands till the knuckles, because we do it till the wrist, because we want to do the mitzvot in a better way, in a nicer way. So we fill up till the top. But we want to do Meikar Adin. We're going to go just till here. This is enough to remove the tumah, to remove the impurity in the morning. And this will be how we're going to do it in the morning. With that, yes?
For the food, like not handling food, I see like a lot of people, and like I've done it also, that like, let's say if you're at synagogue or whatever, you have like orange peel or like a lemon peel, just like the smell, so you're not like nauseous. So it's not good.
Right. Well, I wouldn't say it's not good because people know that.
It.
No, but I think because they put like the things inside, right? People to smell. They usually put like the clover inside, the cloves. I think
it's really just like the peel.
Yeah, just the peel.
It's
so
just the peel. No, so it's no problem because
you're not going to eat a peel.
You're allowed to smell on Yom Kippur, and that's why people they do it. So even sometimes they smell the taba. Yeah, but so this would not be a problem. It's more for the food, and it seems like it would be more a problem because you might come and eat from it, right? So let's continue. ולתפילת נעילת מנחת מעריב, כיוון שעומד כל היום בבית הכנסת ועושה בזבתו ובהיתים הלאו משמר ידיו ולא ירחצם. And that's why it says that a person only has to wash his hands in the morning. And since you're in prayer all day, because you have a rule that you have to wash your hands before going to pray, right? And this is why one of the reasons why we wash our hands in the morning and we have to pray shachrit right away. Why? Because all day you're going to be in synagogue, so you don't have to worry about washing your hands every time before praying. But if you're going to be at home and you weren't being careful, so you can wash again your hands. Okay, then we're going to החולה אפילו אין בו סכנה הוא רוחץ כדרכו, חלק בתוך 30 יום כשניסה רוחץ לפניה כדי שלא תתגנה על בעלה. So we see it's interesting that a woman, when she gets married, if a sick person, he can wash his hands the regular way, there's no problem. And if it's a woman, because also him, it's not for enjoyment, so it's like he needs some hygiene, some things. So because the whole idea of Yom Kippur is to have inui. What's inui? You need to have a type of let's say a type of, I wouldn't say suffering, but a type of I don't know, like lacking, like you're lacking
like a sorrow, or
sorrow would be like like a type of sorrow. That's why you don't eat, you don't drink, because anything that brings you happiness. But now if a sick person needs to wash his hands, of course there's not a problem. Also it's interesting for a woman when she's within her 30 days of being married, she's allowed to wash her face because she doesn't want to make herself she wants to make herself pretty for her husband, right? So just so that let's say he's not used to seeing her. So now I don't know. So he said that there's a hit for her the first 30 days to go and wash her face. Of course, it's a sort to go and put makeup and all those things. So we have to be careful with all those things. Also, we have to understand that we have to understand that on Yom Kippur, the day, like we said, the day itself is going to be mechaper on all the averot. So a person, and we're going to speak about this tonight, that there's four types of averot and how you have to do tshuva for that. So the first thing is if a person is over, it means he goes against amizat aseh. So for example, this is mostly for the men because the woman has very little mizat aseh, meaning positive commandments to do. She has like seven, like lighting the candles, a few things like that, a few mitzvot. But if a woman or a man, they don't do amizat aseh, then they have to ask forgiveness to Hashem, and right away they're getting forgiven right away. Then there's mitzvot lo ta'aseh. Those are called lavin. So any sin that a person does, for example, he speaks the lashon hara, he doesn't, he eats with, let's say he's going to go and do an avera, he's going to eat something not kasher. He's not going to be careful, he's going to eat a bug, or he's going to do all kinds of different things that are different types of sins that a person can do, or I don't know, he's going to hit someone. So all the different types of things. So all those things, which is a lav, a person has to do teshuvah, and then the sin is hold on for him until Yom Kippur. And if he does teshuvah on Yom Kippur, then all the lavin, all those sins, get clean. Now there's a third category of sins, which is more extreme, more severe, is for sins that a person is liable either for death penalty or for karet. So those are sins that a person will do. For example, chas v'shalom, if he does mechal Shabbat, if a person goes to do as avodah zarah, meaning he does idol worshipping, or he goes with a forbidden woman, he goes with a married woman, something horrible. So all those things where it's chayav mitah or illegal relationships, all those things that's chayav mitah. So a person, or chayav karet, for example, someone who eats on Yom Kippur, or someone who eats on Yom Kippur or drives on Yom Kippur, is chayav karet on Yom Kippur. He's trying to show it's crazy. It's chayav karet that he just drove to the synagogue,
Yeah.
But so the things that for those things that are chayav karet, or so it says that Yom Kippur, that a person will go and will do teshuvah, and then the sins are held on till Yom Kippur, and then he needs to have a certain amount of suffering that has to come in his life because of the sins that he did. However, Baruch Hashem, a person can choose the suffering. What does it mean? It means that let's say now it's going to be difficult for him to, I don't know, to go and do a mitzvah, to go and visit a sick person, to go and wake up early in the morning to go pray, to go and do different things, to go bake chalot for people. So things that are going to be difficult for the person, if a person is going to force himself to go and do it, and you don't want to do it because it's very difficult and you have to wake up early and everything, but then this can be included and can be transformed as this is a suffering, meaning that a person can pick, for example, if someone wants to go and start learning, or he wants to start saying Tehillim. It's difficult to say Tehillim, you don't understand the words, so you go word by word, and you don't like doing it.
It's not like eating kosher.
What?
Like that can't be one of the things that's like hard for them.
I would say that no. I would say
So
this
it's
is
like
more like
things.
yeah, exactly. So this would be more like an obligation, but it would be anything that a person does. Let's say extra that I wouldn't say extra, but he puts more efforts. That's more difficult for him. Maybe even eating, but this I have to check. But meaning that a person can choose in terms of mitzvot, and since it's difficult for him, then this can be also a form of suffering. And this is why whenever a person he has suffering, always has to say Gamzul Tova. And also many times when you look back, you understand that the way that Hashem made those things really was really for a good thing. And whether it was as a punishment or whether it was sometimes it's just something that's not good for you. It's like I was working on a file, and I was speaking on with the rabbi. I said, Baruch Hashem, I'm very happy. It was a good file, big file. Like Baruch Hashem, I didn't get it because I know if I would have gotten it, there was a lot of documents, many different things missing, and it could have been that even if I got it, it would be a big balagan after. So it's like, sometimes you think, so don't push it too much. But anyway, so what we're seeing from here is that for Isur Karet and someone who is liable for death penalty, he will need to go. There will also be some type of suffering. And now the worst one, but and then the sins are forgiven. And then the worst one is what? Is Chilul Hashem. meaning desecrating the name of Hashem. So this we start with Yosef, all different laws. So this is something a person has to be very careful. Always, to make sure. There can be with sometimes with someone knows that you're Jewish, the way that you handle with people, the way that you talk, the way many different things. You tell a word to someone and oh, you Jews, you're like this and like that. So that's why you always have to be on your top
behavior.
on your best behavior
And presentation.
best behavior and presentation, because now someone knows that you're Jewish, and then let's say you said something or you insulted them, and then they classify the Jewish world like
or
that.
even if you look a certain way.
And then the other way is also Kiddush Hashem. So Baruch Hashem, once we had the paramedics, they came over, and then they saw Baruch Hashem. It was by my brother-in-law by Shlomi. They saw Baruch Hashem the table, and they saw food, and they saw cakes, and saw everything. And then Baruch Hashem, everything was good. But then we told them sit down, and they drank and they ate, and then now we made a cake. So can we have some hope? And we bring it. But we said take, and then we gave them, and they were so happy. And Baruch Hashem, I'm sure they ate so much that I think, if one day they're going to see another Jew, they're like, Jewish people are good people.
Mm-hmm.
So Baruch Hashem, and we spoke with them, and it was my brother-in-law. It was very nice. And they showed that, Jewish people are nice and we're good people, that we have good values, and we're talking about Shabbat, the holidays, and we're teaching them a little bit. So whenever a person has an opportunity to, what's Kiddush Hashem, is to sanctify the name of Hashem. Now we're Jewish, so we have the Torah, we're the closest ones to Hashem. So our job is to sanctify Hashem in public. So this is with other Jews. This is meaning that you have to be bold for doing mitzvot. That means that the cool one is the one that does the Torah and the mitzvot, not the guy that. So we have to change it.
Switch the narrative.
The switch the narrative. That's exactly it. And so now, if a person does a chilul Hashem, so he does the opposite, right? He does a big avera in public. Everyone sees him. Doesn't care. You see him. I don't know. He puts a picture on Facebook on Yom Kippur full of tattoos, or at McDonald's, right? Or he's getting a tattoo on. I don't know. Some people you don't know how they. Sometimes they really want. Maybe they have a trauma, whatever they have. But those people, they're in the Geda of Chilul Hashem, because they're desecrating the name of Hashem in public. And it says that for them, the categories are: they have to do tshuva, they have to wait for Yom Kippur, they have to get suffering, but the sin is still on their file till the day that they die. So after they did, so it's always on their file till they die. But we have very good news that Baruch Hashem, a person can always do teshuvah. Doesn't matter for what he did. It doesn't matter who he is. Whatever he did, whatever sin he did, a person can always do teshuvah. Because teshuvah is something that's beyond human comprehension. Imagine now, there's Tony. He just went. He robbed the bank. Now he gives back the money. Now he goes to in front of the judge. Judge Williams, please, I'm sorry. I have a kid. I have a wife. Can I please go home? And then just okay, you're good. You can go. So of course, it never happens like that. He goes 20 years in jail, and so So in this world, and even the way the bedding works, because if someone is liable, even if he does teshuvah, we have to give him the punishment.
Mm-hmm.
So we see that in this world, the idea of teshuvah is too foreign because the consequences are still here, right? Whatever the person did is already here, and we have to prevent it from happening again. So we have to show an example. However, with Hashem, it doesn't matter what a person did. If a person decides to get back to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, then Hashem will go and accept this teshuvah. So the person can be a Rasha all his life. This last day of his life, he goes and does teshuvah. He goes and all his avirot are forgiven, and he goes to Shamayim, to Olam Haba. Right? If a person asks you what's the goal in life, we all have to know we all have neshamot, right? And the neshamot are here for what? They're here because the neshamot are eternal. So when a person dies, gets out of his body, he goes to get judged in front of Hashem. And if he was good, he goes to Olam Haba, he goes to a very good place all his life for eternal. And Chaz Shalom, if not, it goes to the opposite. But at the end, the justice has to be made. Now, Hashem, now we have to ask, how is it? It seems like two contradictions, right? How can you be just and be merciful at the same time? Right? Now, let's say Judge Williams. Now, because I remember there was a case, I knew there was a boy, he sold, weed or something, and he got criminal record. I don't know, they found him with like 15 grams of weed. So they saw him he had a criminal record, and he had this and that. Well, it was horrible. And now another guy, he got a... Why? Because the judge said, I don't think that marijuana should be illegal. It was a time when it was illegal. Then, where's the justice? And the guy was like, look, I got a criminal record. and this guy got $1 fine, and the judge said it's a joke. Where's the justice, right? So now we see one judge was strict, and then the other one was merciful, but then there's no justice. So how is it that Hashem is strict, midat hadin, right? But this is Melech. Hashem is the king. We have to understand. He's running everything that we have in our lives. In 1 second, someone can stop. I know people. You stop walking. They get paralyzed. They get into an accident. How many people we heard? Chaz Shalom. You know, they should have an aliyah. Many people we heard this year. Motor accident. In 1 second. That's it. No one knows. So Melech is that Hashem is the king, but not only a king in a far-fetched way. A king, a literal king. He's the one running the show. Now, why do you see all the things in Israel happening now? Hashem, we attacked Hezbollah and this and that, and we see a lot of wins now. Why? Doing tefillot, elul, slichot every day, praying, being close to Hashem, asking forgiveness for people. Understand? Because there's no logic. There's one little piece of land. The Jew, the same way that on October 7th we didn't see anything. So it's Hashem that closed our eyes, and now all of a sudden we destroyed this and that. So we have to understand that Hashem is the one running the show. The more we do Torah and Mitzvot, the more that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is with us. And even the suffering that we have, it's also Hashem. But it's not because He hates us, it's because He loves us. It's like, I'll give you a perfect mashal. You ready? And we're going to finish with that. Imagine now you have a person, he has a son, he's a druggie. I know someone like that. I called the father. The guy was asking for money from everyone. So I gave him some money. And then I have another friend, he also gave him money. He went on Facebook. He saw, you're friends with him. Great. That means I'm going to see my money again. I told him, sorry, buddy. You'll never see your money again. This guy is a crook. So what happened? So then my friend also gave him money. So I called the father. I told the father, hey, your son, he went and he stole money from me and from my friends and everything. He said, that's not my son. Thank you. Bye-bye. That's not my son. That's it. That's not my son. So you have this type of father. And then you have another type of father is what? You see, so this father, do what you want, I don't care, Shana Tova. Then you have the other father, you see him, he gives a punch to his son, he takes him, he grabs him, he sees him at a party, he grabs him in the car, he takes out the belt in front of everyone, he beats him up, he throws him in the house, locks the door, puts the metal gates and the windows. So now if you just look from there, wow, what a cruel father. It's horrible. What are you doing to your son? You're hitting him, beating him up. You're crazy. And the other father, no, you do what you want. Peace, everything is good. Seeing kumbaya. It doesn't work. So now, in reality, if we just see this, we might think, oh, this other father is good. But in reality, who's the good father? The father that beats up his son, is a druggie, and he sends him to rehab and does everything to save him, or the other father,
just let him go.
Exactly. So we know that the father who cares is the father who takes care of his sons, and he takes care to make sure they go in the right way. So this le'avdin is also like a Kadosh Baruch Hu, because at the end we have a beautiful Torah, a beautiful mitzvot. You look, getting married, having children, having Shabbat, holidays, food, enjoyment, all those beautiful things. Baruch Hashem, we're very lucky. You see a lot of people that have nothing of it. Why? Because they don't have the Torah, they don't have a book, they don't have a derech. We have a derech. It's not complicated. We have everything is already set. It's like Shulchan Aruch. Shulchan Aruch means that the table is set. The Shulchan Aruch made all the halachot. Table is set. Everything we know. How do we treat our wives? How do we treat our children? How do we behave with people? How do we do business? Are we allowed to have a grudge? Are we allowed to hate people? How does love work? All those things. It teaches you step by step how to be a human being, how to be a mensch, and how to serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So now we have this. So we have this aspect we just said of Midat Hadin, and then Midat Harachamim means that Hashem is true, is the Melech, so he's judging us. At the same time, he's Avinu Malkenu. Avinu is our Father. He's merciful. He loves us. He cares about us. He's Umatul Mashgiach. It's not only he created the world and then he went on vacation. No, he's here every day. He sees. He knows. He sends us winks all day. You see, Ashgacha Pratit. You see this happens. How everything falls in place because Hashem wants you to be in that position. It's like your brother with the money. Exactly. Tak, tak, tak. So it's like with Avraham Avinu. They test you. It's within the Torah. Hashem tests you. Latifcha b'acharitecha. To see, what's in your heart to make it good for you. Because if there's no test, there's nothing, then everything is easy. But the thing is that when a person person that passed the test, this is the great reward. So just to finish off, is that the deen is for many. It means that really the judgment should be right now. The Rahmanim, the Rahmanut of Hashem makes it that it gives you a lot of time, gives you more time. The Malachama the Yitzhara comes, Hashem, no, we have to do this and this. Then look at him. No, we'll give him more time, and more opportunities. More siyata dishma that Hashem sends him. Sends him a rabbi, he sends him a video, he sends him this. He helps him, he sends him a job, he sends him money. So opportunities for him to do teshuvah. So the deen is the judgment, but the rachamim is that the judgment with patience and siyata dishmana and help. And when you combine those two, Bezat Hashem, when the person understands this, then he's able, by the end of his life, at least do teshuvah. This is very important to end up. So now, before Yom Kippur, if a person, I have to finish with this, that Yom Kippur only mechaper the averot that you did between you and Hashem. The averot that you did with your friends, let's say a person stole, he lied, he cheated, lishon hara. A person has to learn to zip his mouth. It's very important. Lishon hara. Even to believe, when someone tells you, this guy is like that, even just to believe is a big crime already. But all those things together makes it that Hashem can forgive you for the sins you did against him. But against other people, he can't forgive you. So all those people, even if it's difficult, you have to go see them. If you know someone that you hurt, you have to go ask them for forgiveness. You have to say, I'm sorry. You have to forgive everybody. And one big advice is, anyone who lets go, is not going to be makpid with people. Oh, you didn't invite me to your birthday party. Or you didn't give me a show of brachot under the thing. Or I don't know, why didn't you tell me? And then sometimes it's much smaller things, You didn't give me a piece of cake. I don't know. Something, So it says when someone's going to let go, it's okay. You didn't say hi to me first, all those things. It's okay. So one is going to be in front of Hashem, even for Avirot that he did. So Hashem will be more lenient in the way he's going to judge him. But if a person's like this, hey, why didn't you come? We had a meeting at 9. Why didn't you come at 9? But then when it comes to prayer, you're there at 10:30. Essentially, it goes both ways. Chazak. Very good.